Hello, hello. Can you hear me? Hello, hi. So guess what? I did not even get a notification from you.
Oh,
That
oh,
is
I
so
well, I
weird.
went for so I went and I redid it again. So
And I didn't get
just
one from Yolanda or Joyce. That is weird. I don't know. Um, I'll just have to go back in my emails and look.
okay. Well, I
Yeah.
just I put in a new email. I'm like, maybe I didn't because I did register, but like last week when I first saw you, and
Okay.
then now I haven't seen anything. So then I just put it again just
Okay.
now.
And that is why you didn't see anything because I didn't get it. I didn't on my end. Yeah.
Oh,
Look at that Zoom filter on me. Oh my gosh. My skin looks perfect. It's so good to see you.
thank you. You too, Michelle. Absolutely. Yeah, very casual right now.
Great.
I'm
Yes.
on my phone, so I'm waiting for I was gonna go back on through through my email.
Okay.
I mean
Yeah.
through my computer. Yeah.
Yeah.
No.
So forgive me. That's the only reason why. You too, Yolanda. Good to see you, cousin. That's the only reason why you didn't get like a reply because I
Okay.
didn't get it. Yeah.
Oh, all
This,
right.
I really got to check it out because I didn't send any of you all one. I sent other people that I did receive like a notification. So
Yeah.
I'll need to check that because that's very important.
Yeah. It's
Yeah,
okay.
yeah.
Well, I got in. That's a great thing. Thank you for letting me in.
So I'm going to go ahead and get started because I only want to be here like 4. I don't want to take up too much of your time. And even as other people may come in, I may like, because I'm doing this by myself. So I may just click them in and you know how the Zoom goes.
Yes, I do it weekly, all the time.
Okay, okay. So first of all, welcome. Just welcome to Paradigm Shift. I've been looking forward to this for a while. This is Paradigm Shift with me, Michelle Grandy. And so for the next 3 consecutive days, this is day 1, I'm just going to break down the reason why people are stuck and can't get the results that they really, really want. All right. So, and it's all about the paradigm. But what are they real? So, but what are paradigms? Like, what are they really, right? And how are they formed? And what does it take to change the paradigm so that all of us, live like happier lives? I call it wealthier lives, and I call it more fulfilled lives. And I know you know what I'm talking about. So after these 3 days, it is my intention, my goal is for you to understand how you can push through any of your like financial ceilings, right? Because I want all of us to live an abundant life, as we already do, but there's always opportunity for more, and I'm always about the more, because this is just the way that God has intended us to live. So during the next 3 days, I'll cover all of the things on paradigms, a little bit on goals, a little bit on self-image, which is self-identity, all that is related to this very first day. So each day kind of piggybacks on the next day, and it's really some good, solid information. So I have broken down the exact principles, but this information that I'm about to share is not like it's not mine. It's been available for many, many years. So as I start to talk about this, you will probably already know a little or more or a lot about what I'm sharing. So if you were wondering who I am, and I know you do, you may know this, but if you were wondering who I am and why I am qualified, like to sit here and teach you about a paradigm shift, is that I learned from the #1 personal development mentor and coach in the world, and his name is Bob Proctor. And Bob passed away back in February of 2022. But before he passed away, I was his direct student. I invested in myself, and so he personally mentored me, and he coached me. And it wasn't just Bob; it was also his staff. So about 12 years ago, Well, my career goes back longer than that. I'm only going to talk about this 12 years ago. I was in executive sales for US Bank um, for years. And I won awards. I was a top producer. I traveled a lot. I was gone, what, 3, 4 days out of a week. I was a success story for US Bank. And I was a top producer. I was on the leaderboard every week. As long as I was there, I have the proof, I have, the records to prove it. But I was very unfulfilled. I mean, and it started to show up in my health. And even though I was a vegan, I was a very unhealthy vegan, in my opinion, in terms of my gut. But it started to show up in my skin, my health. It started showing up negatively as a mom. Uh-oh, hold on one second. Sarah. So it started showing up, as a mom. It started showing up as even as a wife. So I went back to school, and I went back to school for nutrition, and I became a health coach, a holistic health coach, actually. And I started to build my business, and I had a lot of fun with it. And I had a lot of fun helping people out and helping people to get off of different medications, holistically. Everything was about being holistic, no medicines. And then I became a yoga teacher, and I love that. And I still practice yoga every single day. But even in this interim, I even opened up like a vegan meal delivery service, and that went well. And I love that. But guess what? I wasn't fulfilled. I felt like I was just running like on a track, and I was all over the place. And even when I did calm down, I got help. I rewrote the plan. All of the stuff that we're supposed to do, as entrepreneurs, I did the work. I wasn't fulfilled. I felt like I was doing that work. I felt like I was forced to do it because I was helping people. But what I realized is that people didn't really want to do the real work. And you may already know this from just talking to people, that it takes to get healthy, or that it takes to really get off medications. I mean, it's really a mindset game. And so since I remember at the age of 9, I've always been interested in this material that I'm going to be teaching today. I love people like, and I was like 8, 9 years old, people like Wayne Dyer, of course, Tony Robbins, and then Joe Dispenza. So I would read their books. But guess what? I didn't embody the work. I didn't embody the material. It was actually a little over my head. I just wasn't ready for the content. But it was always in the back of my mind. And I know that this information spoke to me in a big way. I'm gonna let somebody else in. So this information actually spoke to me in a big way, but I was not ready to receive the information. So today, I know it is due to my paradigm that I shift. So today I'm very clear, super clear on what I want in terms of this type of work. So fast forward a year ago, an email came across my computer from Bob Proctor, inviting me to like a 5-day masterclass, just like this one right here. I was ready. I knew it in my heart. I invested in myself, and I made a decision to become what they call a PGI consultant, which is just a Bob Proctor Institute consultant. So if you would have known me, like, and I know a lot of you do, back then, like say 2 years ago, I was doing a lot of posting on social media, and I looked the part, right? I looked the part. I looked like I was doing the thing in terms of just being happy in my life, but I wasn't. For about 2 years, I was really in a dark place. I mean, it was very lonely. And I'm not talking about lonely from the standpoint of, husband, wife. I'm talking about me, myself, and I. It was very lonely, and I was unfulfilled. And it was stress. It was stress. It was a lot of stress. I was depressed, all the stuff that comes with being unfulfilled. But let me just tell you what happened when that email came across, because I get emails all the time, just as you probably do too. But when I listened to Bob this time, or when I listened to Bob, it changed my whole life. I don't know if I was just ready. Remember, I've been reading this stuff since I was 9, but I wasn't ready. And so I've been studying this material, and I know today who I am, what I want. And I am just more happy, and I'm more fulfilled today than ever. So I have so much wealth and richness and just knowing who I am. where I am and where I'm going and how I'm going to get there. I mean, it's really that super clear to me today. I'm 57. It's never been that clear to me. So my mission is to help other people like live the life that they desire. And it all starts with understanding the paradigm. So even when I was a health coach for all those years, and so what I noticed that people were missing, it was the mindset piece. But I had no idea what a paradigm was. I really didn't. I mean, I can Google it all I wanted, but I still, it did not connect. It just didn't make any sense. It made sense, but I wasn't ready to receive it. So what I learned through Bob and the teachings is that there's a science to understanding your mind. And the most important thing you have to learn is about the mind. I don't care what we're trying to do in life. If we don't understand how our mind works, we will have what I call temporary successes. Like we'll be up and down. It'll just be like a roller coaster. So I've had all these successes, but I had a lot of lows, and that's fine. But until I started to understand my mind, I know how to understand the lows where I can almost like whip myself back. And it's not like an easy thing, but I can whip myself back to a high vibe, in other words. So now, like now and tomorrow is going to be equally important that you show up, because I'm going to go into a little bit more deeper detail about like paradigms, and I want to show you how they actually control you. And then on Wednesday, I want to talk a little bit about self-image and self-identity, and how the paradigm is connected to who you think you are. Okay, it's going to be really interesting. So who am I? I am a peak purpose mentor who I help people. I help people just like you. I help you unlock the potential within you, which is worth everything. And I mean, absolutely everything. I really wish that I had a mentor, years ago. I'm talking about one that I can have hands on, somebody who was very tangible or who was, present in my life. I've had mentors, but not to this extent. And so I want to help bring your potential to the surface so that you actually do more and you become more creative and you skip what I call the runs of the ladder. So I see a lot of people, of course, going back to school, doing whatever they need to do, even starting a business and starting from the bottom. And I just think that we all need mentors. I think we all need somebody who can help us run up the ladder faster. We can skip the steps, but we still want substantive information. We still want to know what to do, how to do it in the most effective way to do it. That's going to have an impact on not just the people, but yourself first, and then the people. So you may have been told, as I was growing up, that remember we had to work hard. You got to be smart. And I don't think I was that smart. I mean, I went down the path of college, undergrad and grad school, but I still don't think that I was that smart. And it's probably because I just really wanted to be an entrepreneur. And I thought that I had to go to college in order to be an entrepreneur. And so that was my path. And I think I was resistant along the way, but I still did the thing. I still went into debt for college. And I worked the jobs and I had an amazing time. I mean, I got into jobs and the jobs were good, but a job will only give you a little bit of anything, right? Because we're capped. We're capped at what we can make. I mean, I was in sales and I did great. I was a top producer and all the good stuff. But with that came a lot of other strife, like the travel, like me not showing up for my family the way in the way that I should, like working a lot of hours. But yet I love that paycheck, right? But the job I started to settle. Because I wasn't working in my purpose. Not to say sales is not my purpose, because I believe we all need sales, and I absolutely love sales, but just in the way in which I was doing it. But the job becomes the habit. And I didn't start out in sales. I started out in legal administrator. I was a legal secretary first, even with the degrees. And then I became a legal administrator, where I kind of managed like a mid-sized law firm. And that, again, lovely pay, great environment. I learned so much in terms of locality and those things. I learned how to write. But again, I wasn't fulfilled. I just wasn't. So like 97% of the population, like right now, they're kind of working in this way, like, getting up, getting dressed, going to work, whatever it is. And today, probably not even going to work, but going in the living room, working from home. But they're only earning like 3% of the money. That's it. That's it. And that is, hold tight. There we are. And see, guess what? I didn't even see Michelle on here either. So I was like, okay, this is why I needed this help. Okay, at some point, I'm working on it. Okay, but so 3%, we only earning, right, 3% of the money. There has never been an end to the money. There is no end to the money that's out there, that's in the universe, that God wants us to have. There is no amount that can stop us. And in the job, I felt like I was capped, no matter what. Each year, even if I'm a top producer, guess what happens? Your goals for the next year goes way up. So it's a constant, hustle and grind. So even there's not even an amount that you could even go into debt with. Like, there is money in abundance, in a positive way and also in a negative way. There's no point where it goes. So that means just money is just always out there. So we have to ask ourselves, why do we cap ourselves? I want you to ask yourself that question. If other people can earn a lot of money, why can't you? Why can't I, right? The truth is we can. The truth is that the 3% of the population that's earning the 97% of the money, most of them don't even know how they got there, like how they're doing it, right? Most of them assume that they gotta, work hard, of course, work hard, and they gotta keep working hard, and they gotta keep doing that in order to maintain where they are. But I don't know if you realize a lot of that is just to maintain and to pay the bills and to pay their staff. So the money is not like going up, up, up. I'm not talking about the one percenters. I'm talking about the majority of us. So even if you are doing well, and you are in this 3-day masterclass that I have, you are nowhere where you should be or where you could be. So even if you are sitting here and you are meant for more, you have everything because you are here. And the fact that you're here shows yourself really that you're committed. So thank you for coming out. So this means that there is more money. There's more out there that's good for us to have. So tomorrow we'll go into details about the paradigm and talk more about what you want. So every single day, like I said earlier, we'll add to the other days. So show up, let the distractions go, just be here. I don't think I'm going to live stream in the Facebook group. I may do a replay, but we'll see, because we all deserve this internal peace and this confidence, right? And I know that we all want security around what we're doing. So we have this one life to make things happen and to get it done. So like me, whatever your age, this is for you. Like, this class is for you. Wallace D. Wallace, Neville Goddard, I don't know if you ever heard of these authors, as well as my mentor, Bob Proctor, all great teachers on prosperity consciousness, because this really is about prosperity consciousness. What it is that it's an understanding of your paradigms. And they all thought that we become what we think about. So the question is, what do you think about your goals? I want you to ask yourself that. What do you think about your goals? If you don't change your thinking that created what you have now, then you will always get what you've always got, okay? So you can work hard as long as you want, but if you don't start to change your thinking, then nothing really changes. So I talk to a lot of people who tell me that they are very comfortable. I don't believe it. I believe that you are meant for more. I believe that you are here on this earth to make a bigger impact at whatever that is. So being comfortable is a good thing, but I just think that you have so much more to give. So every piece of the information that I give would be delivered at the right time and in the right order. So I want you to take it all in, everything that I'm just saying here. Yeah, I was gonna say let go. As a yoga teacher, when students come through the door, I can see the anxiety in their face. Like I can feel it. Like I can't do what she does. I can't do the handstands and the back bends and all. And I always tell people to drop what you know. So just drop what you know and just be here for a little bit and just kind of let it soak in and just see what happens and see what you feel like, and then show up for day number 2. But I don't want you to like skip ahead in your mind. Like, don't worry about like the how of the information that I'm sharing, because you are in the right place. So again, you're here. So by the end of these 3 days, you will understand you. You will understand paradigms. You will understand goals, and how you can create, no matter your age, the life you truly want. So most importantly, you will understand what you need to do next, because I don't believe just by hearing me for like an hour a day, like just 3 hours, would give you the transformation in the physical form. But you will have an understanding, and then I will show you how to move into action. So these 3 days, they are essential. You are here because you are searching for something. And here's what I know for sure. Whatever you're searching for is searching for you as well. That is something that I had to learn the hard way. So let me I want to share my screen for a moment. Hold on one second. And I want to go into a whiteboard. Okay. No kidding. This is my first day, my first time doing a whiteboard, guys. No kidding. All right. Let me just move this up a little bit. All right. With my experts on Zoom. So I want to just kind of flip, just kind of show this little drawing, and I'll be using this whiteboard for the next 10 minutes or so. So I want to talk about who you are and who you are relative to the results that's showing up in your life. So what do your results tell you right now? Because when we talk about results, right, we're talking about your money, we're talking about your health and your wellness, and we're talking about your relationships. I think that those are the 3 very important things in people's lives. So I'm just going to put an M for money and a R for relationships. And then what's the other one? And then the other one is health, which is huge. Remember, health, to me, health is wealth, right? I really don't need to use the board just yet, but so I want you to ask yourself, where do you stand? Like right now, where do you stand with your money? Where do you stand with your health? And where do you stand with reference to your relationships? And I'm not just talking about relationships with a man or a significant other or as a partner. I'm talking about relationships with your children, relationships with your co-workers, relationships just with people, friends, right? So ask yourself that question, where do you stand right now with reference to that? Because the amount of money you earn, like right now, would tell me a lot about how you think. So ask yourself, where are you with respect to your money, your relationships, and your health? So on a scale of 1 to 10, and I want you, you don't have to put anything in the chat, but just kind of rate your own self where you stand. How rich is your relationship with your kids, with your partner, significant other? How rich is your relationship with you, your coworkers, your business partners, the people in your life? So what is that like? Like, what is that really like? So what is the results with respect to your health? Because that's so big. Are you rich in time? Are you able to really get clear on your time being your own time? Do you have richness in time? Another question that I would ask myself is, what is your lifestyle like? We all should have, what I call incredible lifestyles. And that is one of the reasons why I named my company, Peak Purpose, is because of, it's like I'm always interested in a peak purpose fulfilled lifestyle. So my lifestyle a while ago wasn't so great. And I think I talked about that earlier. Even though I showed up for my family and I showed up for work, I was always late. Again, I was just unfulfilled. I never had the money for myself. I was in a rat race. I dreaded going to work, but I needed the money. So I lived for the weekend, and I know you could probably, you probably can relate. And I had no real goals based on the goals that I know about today. So I want you to think about that for a moment. If I want you to take this serious, and I want you to kind of go in introspective and say to yourself, where am I in this thing called life? Because the key here is not like to get upset or get emotional. You'd be surprised. People, you ask them, what do they want? And they really don't know. So I want you to just kind of harvest the good and just forgive the rest, let it go. But where we are, what I'm talking about right now is a strong starting point. So the next thing I want you to say, I want you to ask yourself is, I want you to kind of think about your results. Like, what are my results right now? Like, how are they showing up in my life? And then I want you to ask yourself, how do results happen? Because this is really key. How do the results in your life happen? Like, how did you end up where you are right now with results in your relationships, in your money, the amount of money you make? How did you end up there? Why are you earning what you're earning? Because the truth is, you are earning what you're earning because that's all you know how to earn. Do you believe that? Do you all believe that? Because if you knew how to double your income, you would do it by now. Do you agree? Because I know I did not. If you knew how to work less, right, and give yourself more time, you would do that. So we got to understand that the results that we're getting right now are happening somehow. And until we change what's happening, in our mindset, we're going to still continue to get the same results. Now, I got a question. How many of you, or who of you, know exactly what you want? Or do you ever even be around people and you ask them how did they get the results they got? For example, you may have friends who have jobs and they're doing well in their jobs, and you ask them, how did they get the jobs? Most people would tell you, I was in the right place at the right time. It's a result of working hard, right? I was just lucky because of connections to get it. This is what they would say about their results, and mostly about their money results. Not their health, not their relationships, but mostly about money. But that's not true. So in fact, Napoleon Hill, I don't know if you all know him, he's the author of the book called Think and Grow Rich. Is one chapter, one of my favorite chapters, is on the title of imagination. So he says something like this: if you are the person that thinks that working hard is the way to riches, perish the thought, because it has nothing to do with working hard. And when I'm talking about riches, it is just not about money. It is just not about money. Riches comes in the form of prosperity and having beautiful relationships, and most important, your health, right? As well as money, because let's not make no mistake about it. Money is a good thing. So I want you to think about it. I mean, you may have been working hard, right, for the money, but where are your results coming from? Because most people believe it is the actions that they take that are bringing them the results. Action is absolutely vital, but more importantly, what is fueling the action? So when you think about the action that you are taking to get whatever results that you're getting with your, the job, the relationships, your health, where did they come from? Where are they derived from? Because this is very important. They are derived from you, your mind, because you have to actually think before you take action. You have to think before you do anything. I had to think about putting this masterclass together. Every single thing that I created and writing, this particular masterclass, I had to think about it. You had to think about signing up for the Zoom. You had to think about pushing the button to attend this particular class. So what I'm trying to say is that this is the most important thing for you to work on, and that is your mind. So what is the mind? Because if my results in life are a reflection of the actions, right, that I take, which is a reflection of how I've been thinking, then what are you saying? So I'm saying that the mind is the root cause of all of our behaviors. Behaviors is where you take action, and then the behaviors is what moves you into the action and gets you results. So that is why it is so important for you to learn this information. It's so important. So we got this action.
Now, can you say that again?
Okay. Okay. The whole big part.
Just what you said about the action and the thinking.
I'll start with the mindset, because we always have to ask ourselves about what is the mind. We have to be able to understand the mind, because all the results that we're getting in our life right now is a reflection of the actions that we're taking, which is a reflection of how we've been thinking. Then, so I always ask myself, is that what I'm thinking in my mind? That's the root cause of all behaviors. So behaviors is where the actions are. And then the behaviors is what moves you into action and gets you the results. Did that make sense? Okay. So that's very important. So you've got action and you've got results, and it's all coming from the mind. So your mindset is what dictates your behavior, and your behavior is what drives your action. And then your action is what drives the results in your life. So if your results, if it's your mind, right, we probably should figure out who we are. And that's a good question that a lot of people don't know. A lot of people struggle with that. Like most people don't even know who they are. And if they do know who they are, they don't know how the mind operates. And if you don't know how the mind operates, right, how are you going to understand how to move into the action, how to move your body into action so that you can get the results that you desire? You're going to stay stuck unless you understand how the mind works. So let's look at who we are. Hold on one second. Let's look at who we are. We are talking about like the mind. We are talking about you. We're talking about me. The truth is that we are God's highest form of creation as human beings. We live in this physical body, right? But we are not a physical body. Stay with me. I know it sounds crazy. I know it did for me. It sounds a little bit weird for me in the beginning. So let me take you back a little bit. Remember we talked about the results right here with the R? So here are the results, right? Can you all see that? Just nod like this so I can see you, to make sure you see it. Right. So we're talking about results. So the only way to get to the results is to first start to understand the mind. So I was going to say about something about the mind. So when I start learning about how the mind operates, I had to understand um, the different parts of the mind, right? That there's two parts of the mind. And then those two parts of the mind, one is the conscious mind and one is the subconscious mind. And then we have this body. So the conscious mind is our thinking mind. That's like, hold on, let me see if I can do this, guys. So this is the head, right? That's the mind. This whole big circle is the head. This here is the conscious mind, and this here is the subconscious mind. And then we have a body. This is our body. I'm just going to put a B for body. So your conscious mind is your thinking mind. This is where all of your ideas, all of your just all of your intellect comes from, right? All your intellect comes from your conscious mind right here. And then right here is your subconscious mind. This is your emotional mind. This is where 97% of your paradigms are stored. And these are your habits. And we also call this the feelings. This is the feelings. This is your emotional mind. So you can think what you want to think up in here, all these brilliant ideas. And not all ideas are good ideas. I mean, you can have anxiety that's coming through from your conscious mind. But whatever is impressed into your subconscious mind, your body has to accept it. So when you are thinking, let's just say, for example, you're thinking anxiety, for example, right? And so right here, you accepted that. And once that's accepted in the conscious mind, it's then impressed into the subconscious mind. This is your feeling, your emotional mind. This is where you start thinking and making excuses and saying what you can't do or what you can do, depending on what's coming in from the conscious mind. And then what happens is that is impressed into your body. Your body then has to release that, and that goes out into the universe. So your body has an action based on your subconscious emotions and your subconscious feelings. And so once that is expressed into the body as an action, taking action, then that's goes out into the universe. And what happens is the universe will give you exactly what you asked for. It's almost like the law of cause and effect. So when I first learned this information, it brought me to a closer understanding of of how the mind operates. So what's controlling your body? So this was a little bit of an introductory into the mind and how the mind operates. Tomorrow, I'm going to talk a little bit more on it, but that's just a little introductory. So your mind is the energy that is creating, right, your body to move into the action. So this big head here is the energy, right, that's creating the action, because the action moves into the body, right, for you to take action in this world, for you to take next steps, no matter what that is. Okay, because for every action, there is a reaction, which means that everything you are putting out in the world, in the universe, is automatically coming back to you. That's just the law of cause and effect. And that's universal law. But you don't need to know all of that right now. We'll talk about that later as well. The reason why I've asked you who you are is because most people don't know. This is why most people are struggling with confidence. I was one of those people. This is why maybe you find it hard to get people to take you serious in whatever role that is for you, right? I always hear people say, I just want people to see me for who I am. And that's great, but you got to see it for yourself first. So you are actually a mass of energy that operates and lives in this thing called the body. But you're not the body. Stay with me. I know it sounds weird. Now, if I was to take away your name, and I want you to really listen to this for a moment. If I was to take away your name, if I was to take away your title as moms or dads or, leader, executive, attorney, whatever your role is that you do now, right? Who are you? If you are not mom, if you're not the wife, the husband, if you're not, this CEO of your company, or this, whatever your title is, the nurse, if you're not that person, who are you? That's the question you really should answer. That is the most, without a doubt, important thing that I've ever had to come across, because I was attached to my titles, right? But understanding this now has helped me to tap into the richness of this information, which has led me to more joy, more love, more money, more abundance, and of course, more faith, because I didn't know who I was. But when Bob Proctor asked me for the first time, and then he made me go deep, because I kept saying, I'm Mom, I'm Michelle Grandy. No, I didn't know. And it kind of like scared me a little, especially when I took away all the titles. We don't like things we don't understand. And we don't understand how to do something like earn money or bring more money into our life when we feel different. It's like a blockage. So how many times have you heard about a new opportunity to bring more money into your life, and you automatically said it couldn't be true? That's a scam, right? Even coming on this 3-day workshop, you may have said, what can Michelle teach me? Like who does she think she is? Like, what can she teach me about money? What can she teach me about a paradigm? She's just looking to earn money, right? I'm not saying this is what you said, but this is probably what someone may have been thinking, right? Yeah. So if you are a business person and you don't want to earn money, then you shouldn't be in business. I find that a lot of people in business, and I said this earlier, they're really not earning the money that they want, because they're using the money to pay for their staff and just to stay afloat. That's tough. So here's the thing. You were not made for work. Work was made for you. There was no big intention that God put out there that your sole purpose on this earth was to get a job, right? Stay in it for years, pay taxes, pay into a pension, travel a little bit, and then we die. That is not how God intended for us to live our lives. That is not your purpose. That is not my purpose. Life is an experience. It's a journey. It's an unfolding. And I really wish that I knew this information 10 or 20 years ago. It's all about becoming aware. Awareness is the key to freedom. So when I say the word awareness, this equals freedom. If you were aware of how to double your income, you would do it. It would already be done. If you were aware of how to purchase and build that dream home, you would. If you were aware of how to do anything, you would do it. And I'm not talking about the incremental successes. Now, being aware and doing it is also two different things, because what happens is confidence come in, right? And procrastination steps in. And so then we have to deal with that too. These are habits. Procrastination and confidence is a habit that was instilled in us years ago by the environment and by our parents and our upbringings, and then what we attach to along the way. So we have to become aware of how not to procrastinate. So it still comes back to awareness. If you can become consciously aware, awareness basically means you understand something. So when I first heard this, I thought I knew what awareness meant. I really did. I mean, I just thought I knew, but I did not understand the full depth of what it is to be aware. But it's very simple now. For example, if you got me onto an airplane, right, and you put me in a cockpit and you say, Michelle, fly the airplane, I would not be happy, because I don't know how. You should not fly with me because I don't know how to fly. I can't be your pilot. Why? Because I am not aware of how to fly. So if I'm not aware of how to fly, what is the opposite of awareness? It's called ignorance. And that was me for so many years. Lack of understanding is another word for it. So if you are not aware, of your mind and how it operates, then you have lack of ignorance about who you really are. Ignorance or lack of understanding about how to earn money, right? And how to have those relationships and how to sustain good health. So let me introduce you to you. And I did that a little bit with the circle. So let's look at that circle one more time. That round circle, the big circle represents your mind, the whole big thing. The little circle represents your body. Now, your body is a massive molecule in what we call like a high speed of vibration. And that basically just means that if you were to take some of your cells and put them under a microscope, and I don't know if you all are into science, but if you actually do this, you will see those molecules moving in a high speed of vibration. Why is that? That's because every single thing in this universe is made of energy. We learned this in school, remember? We were taught we were not taught how to earn money, right? Or how to have beautiful relationships, or even how to maintain our good health. But we were taught about science in terms of energy being everything, like everything is energy, right? All science, all theology agree on this. You can just Google it. What is energy? You can talk to, science professors, in fact. All science and all theology believe that we become what we think about. We become what we think about because thoughts are energy. Things are energy. They are just energy in different forms of energy. Energy is everything. Everything is energy. Your mind is energy. Money is energy. So it would be a really good idea to understand what energy is. Energy can't be created and it can't be destroyed. It moves like from one form to another. So now we know that energy is 100% evenly present at all times, right now, right here. And I don't know if you remember, but we learned this in school. We also learned that energy is always moving. So if money is energy and mind is energy and our results is energy, then your results are a physical, creation of thought energy. So thoughts turn into things every time for every person in every particular way. So what am I thinking about me? That's the question I want you to ask yourself. If everything is energy, what are you thinking about yourself? What are you thinking about now? Money, relationships, and your health. If everything is energy. Right? You got thoughts which live on a conscious level. We talked a little bit about that right now. That's where your ideas are. It lives on a conscious level. And you also have these feelings, right? And they live on your subconscious level, right in here. That's how we operate. We've got these thoughts, we've got these feelings, and then we go out and we take particular action. This is basic stuff. And most people don't understand because I had no clue either. You think, you feel, and you do. So here's your thinking mind, here's your feeling mind, and then here's your body, which take actions. That's the doing. But a lot of people have not been taught that you can choose what you think. You can choose how you feel. We've just been, I think we've accepted other people's opinions about what's truth. But this is science. And somehow along the road, we picked up all these beliefs and all these habits that create feelings that actually tell us how to think. We don't really think for ourselves. We're so busy running that we don't really think for ourselves of how the mind operates. So we start living life from the outside in instead of the inside out. So let me give you an example. So when you look at your results right now in your business, in your relationships, for your health, right? I have no doubt in my mind that you are not happy with those, right? I'm not saying that you're sad or angry either. You don't have to be. We don't want to take it from one extreme to another. I'm just saying I want you to just look at it. I want you to realize where you are with your current results. Because I don't think you'd be on this call if you wasn't happy with where you are in life right now. So let's just say you get a bank statement in the mail and you look at the bank account or you look at the numbers on the bank statement or the mobile statement. And you look at the amount of money and that is the result of, that's the result of the bank account balance, right? I want you to do the same thing for your health and your relationships. What do you think the thoughts are going to be? How do we think? A lot of people don't think. A lot of people are actually just living out of all thoughts and which are programmed, like program thoughts. So you do this through the 5 senses. So this is what happens. So there are 5 of them. I'm gonna, you all already know this. The 5 senses are the see, touch, taste, hear, and smell. And these 5 senses are what is connected to the subconscious mind. So, and your senses are out there in the world. They're picking up information and bringing them into your conscious mind. That's how we think. Now, most people look and they talk and they give energy to results that are negative. This is what's going on. This is what's wrong. There's nothing working out for me. I mean, I ask people how much they want to earn, or I talk about different relationships. And for me, I talk a lot about health. And they just say, I just want to make enough to get by. I just, I will always, my health will always be like this until the day I die, right? I'm going to be single for the rest of my life, or I'm going to stay in this particular marriage, even though I'm not happy, just because I want to. Right? I just want to get along better with my partner or my kids. I just want to get off all medications, but they don't want to do the work to get there. So what's your goal? Right? Because just having enough is just not enough. It's not. That is not how you, walk into your true purpose. Because how is having enough when you are here for more? You're here for more. You're here to make bigger impact. So most people are thinking about the lack of what they have or what they want. I want you just really listen to people's conversations. They say things like, I can't afford this. I'm too tired to do that. Think about that. How am I going to afford this? This is what they say. Where is the money going to come from? I don't even have that. That's those people. That's not for me. People spend a lot of time wishing they could. This is the self-fulfilling prophecy. This is the science behind our results. Most people are looking at what is, which automatically makes them think negative. And here's the thing, energy moves. It doesn't sit still. So you and me as individuals, we're either creating or we are disintegrating. You are either moving forward or you're moving backwards. We are never staying still. Even when we go to sleep at night. And thankfully, because of the energy that's working within us, our heart is still beating. It keeps our blood flowing. It's all energy. So when you look with your 5 senses, right, at the outside world, the outside circumstances, the outside conditions, and the environment, when we look at all of that, we think negative. And that makes us automatically feel negative. Now that feeling is not always great. It's just not. That feeling like, oh my God, where am I going to get the money for that? Why is my partner or children treating me like that? Why don't I feel good? All of that makes you feel uncomfortable. It changes your entire state, your entire being. How many times have you been in a great mood, right? And suddenly you get a phone call or you read a letter and everything changes for you, right? Your whole body changes. That's because your mind controls your body. So when you think negative, you feel negative. And guess what? You're going to start taking negative actions. You can't take inspired actions when you feel negative. Right? The actions you take when you are in a negative state, you're probably hoping that things will be better. You're hoping and you're wishing. You're hoping that it would bring you whatever you're trying to do. You're hoping that it would bring you more results, more energy. But you can't go into action when you are in a negative state of being. That's just not how universal laws work. So for me, when I was in sales, I used to make phone calls to call on decision makers, but I didn't understand this work, and so sometimes, yeah, depending on how I felt, I would get a negative response on the other end. So that is not the way we want to work. The basic principle that I'm teaching right here is the law of cause and effect. That basically is the same thing as karma. When we talk about karma, it's the same law about if you will sow what you reap. It's all God's principles. The scientific term, though, is called the law of cause and effect. And that teaches us, you can look it up, what is it called? Newton's cradle, that if you put one little ball out, right, then it's going to bring a ball back. Everything is equal and opposite. So if I put a little bit of good out there in the world, I'll get a little bit good out. I get a little bit good back. If I put a whole lot of good energy out there, I'm going to get a whole lot of good energy back. I hope this makes sense. So the energy that goes out in your actions, and it comes back in your reactions. So what I'm trying to say is that your thoughts, your feelings toward money, toward your relationships, and toward your health, when you put that out, that is exactly what's coming back to you. We call this attitude. So attitude is a combination of your thoughts, your feelings, and your actions. You cannot have one without the other. If you do, it's just totally out of alignment. You cannot say in your conscious mind, remember, you can't say in your conscious mind, oh, I really hope I can buy this or do this, right? Or be this, right? I know I can't afford it. You can't say that in your conscious mind and then probably in your feeling mind say, I can. It just doesn't work. It just doesn't work. So, and it's hard to take actions when your conscious mind and your subconscious mind are not in alignment. Let me ask you a question. Do you know what your dream car is? And if you do know, have you ever test drove your dream car? Because so many people are not test driving or driving their dream cars. You know why? Because they say to themselves they can't afford it. Why would I want to go and test drive a car when I can't afford it? So what's happening there? In your conscious mind, right? You want to drive that dream car. But in your subconscious mind, you're saying I can't afford it. There's conflict there. So you're going to stay stuck. You're just going to stay back there where God wants you to experience that. What does that feel like when you're in your dream car? Even if you don't own it, you're test driving it. You want to feel, because what if you get into this dream car and you don't even want it? Yeah. So we can't have conflict in our conscious mind and our subconscious mind because that is impressed into the body. And whatever's impressed into the body is going to go out to the universe, and the universe is going to give us exactly what we asked for. So I say, go take that car for a test drive. But when you take it for a test drive, don't speak anything about what you can't afford. Just enjoy the ride and feel what that feels like to be in that car, and then let it go. But hold on to that feeling though. Hold on to that feeling, but don't think anything negative about what you can't afford. You walk in there as, you know, with the confidence that you're going to buy this car, but you want to see how it feels. Because if you keep looking with your eyes at the money that you don't have, at the relationships that you don't have, and at the health and wellness that you don't have, you're going to keep getting more of the same. Because if you think negative, feel negative, and put yourself in negative actions, you know, when you take action, then that's exactly what you're going to receive back. That's the law of cause and effect, and it's universal law. Money is like a friend.
Did we lose her?
Looks like it.
Oh, I was writing, like, I was writing and writing and writing. All right. She'll be back, I
I
think.
think the time is up. I think the time I think it's a time. Mhm.
It was an hour.
She'll be on tomorrow, so I guess we'll catch her tomorrow.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'll see
Bye-bye.
you then.
Bye, ladies.
That's what happens when you have the timer on 1 hour. And I think I got about 5 more minutes. So I'm just going to wait 2 minutes. Maybe somebody else will pop on. Okay, I'm going to keep going, and I just have to send out the replay because I know there were quite a few people on. So, but anyway, money is like a friend. Talk to it nice, give it some love, right? It will come running towards you. Same goes for your relationship and for your health. So Bob Proctor always said that money can't always talk, but it can listen. So make sure you put the right stuff out there every time in terms of what you're thinking and what you're feeling, and then taking the inspired actions, right? So we kind of passed the 1 o'clock hour. I just want to say one thing, that we're going to have another session tomorrow. So make sure you are on at 1 o'clock. There was so much other information to talk about. I think I need to talk a little bit faster or cut it short. But I want you to know that show up for tomorrow, because each day adds on to the other day. And so if you miss something important, then you may miss the whole concept here. All right. So I will put the replay in the Facebook group, probably add a little bit more so you can understand the whole conversation today. But thank you for showing up today. And I do look forward to seeing you tomorrow. All right. Have a great day.